Okay, I gotta talk about this fire in Maui for a minute. This whole thing, I mean, I think probably the electrical lines are going to be the culprit when it comes down to it with the fire, but all the backhanding and inexperience that's going on over there and the way that whole thing was handled, I mean, I guess it shouldn't be any shock because anytime the government gets involved in trying to manage a disaster, it is just a disaster. They don't know how. They seem to have people in the positions of making decisions to help people who have no experience, don't know what to do, make all the wrong decisions. This is just something we see time after time after time with any major disaster, right? And you've got the people who took videos showing these roadblocks of people trying to get out. And first of all, I just want to say, like, this is something I have experience with. I was a firefighter, volunteer and paid for more than 17 years. I worked as a firefighter EMT. I worked as a wildland firefighter. I was a relief duty captain. I've worked, like I said, paid positions. I was an arson investigator for a long time. So this is something I know a little about. And I was a police officer for 9 years. And what I can tell you is you don't block the escape routes from a fire. So first of all, they denied that happened. But then, of course, these videos come out from people who showed that it happened. And then they won't answer the questions on why. Denials, lying, just refusal to answer questions that they should have to answer. You've got a guy who was in charge of the emergency management on Maui who had zero experience in emergency management. Why? Who put that guy in charge? Who was he friends with that good old boyed that dude into the position he was in? This happens all the time, everywhere. Like, this is going on probably in the town or city you live in right now. There are people who have these very important positions, and granted, maybe they'll never have to make decisions like this. Hopefully they won't. But that doesn't mean you put somebody in, your buddy, your best friend, your lover, your mistress, your whatever. You don't put those people in those positions as a favor to give them a good job, to whatever. This happens all the time. There needs to be some kind of review, in every city to see if these people are qualified for these positions. Because when it comes down and something does happen, you don't want some idiot moron in charge trying to figure out what to do who has no idea. You want people with experience who have worked those jobs, who know what needs to be done, so they can make quick decisions under pressure, accurate decisions under pressure. Clearly, this did not happen in Maui. So now FEMA rolls in to save the day, right? And what are they doing? They're staying in $1,000 a night luxury resort. That's where they're running their operations from. And the guy that's running stuff on the ground was on the news last night saying, well, we're not paying $1,000 a night. We got a government $300 a night. Who cares? Like, that's not the point. The point is you're staying in a 5-star luxury resort on the beach. You're there to help these people. You're not there on vacation, bud. And then he said, well, we're not taking rooms either from people, who need a place to go. And then the next clip is showing all these Maui residents in a high school gym on cots. Are you kidding me, guy? Like, that's where you people should be. FEMA should be set up in the high school on cots, running their operation. And those people that lost everything should be in that hotel. They gave each resident from Lahaina $700. What is that going to do? What is that going to do? Nothing. That's my grocery bill for a month. What is that going to do for those people? That's not going to get them into an apartment somewhere. That's not going to get them much food. That's not going to get them anything. That's a slap in the face. That's what that is. And then a citizen reported that, the residents had cooked 150 home-cooked meals and FEMA threw them out. And I looked for some kind of news article about that, and there's nothing. But this lady says, a resident from Maui, she said this at some meeting that was occurring over on Honolulu about it. 150 home-cooked meals thrown in the garbage because they didn't meet FDA standards. Are you shitting me? Are we this stupid that we actually do this stuff? Like, these people need help. They need food. They need water. They need a place to stay. They need just to feel normal. And we're going to worry about FDA standards and lawyers and insurance companies and government regulations. What is wrong with these people? Is there no common sense left anymore? There's none. There's no common sense. Now, we've seen FEMA drop the ball so many times when it comes to natural disasters and other stuff in this country. I don't know why this surprises anybody. I don't know why anybody believes that the government is coming to help you if something goes wrong, because they're not. They don't know how to manage. They just don't. And I'm going to harken back to 2006, where they staged food for the 2006 hurricane season in the Gulf Coast, and as many as 13.4 million prepared meals stockpiled there, spoiled in the Gulf Coast heat during the summer, when FEMA ran short of warehouse and refrigeration space, according to agency officials. In all, hundreds of truckloads of food worth more than $70 million were thrown away. Or scavenged for unspoiled contents to be offered to domestic hunger relief groups. Most of the meals were box lunches. Federal disaster management officials decided to position huge amounts of food, water, and ice in the southeastern United States last year after they were condemned for failing to quickly deliver critical supplies to victims of Hurricane Katrina, because we all saw what happened there. All those homes that never, ever even got to the people, they just rotted away. All those little single wide trailer things that they had, and all the food that went bad there too. No water. This is the federal government. How do you not have the space or the refrigeration for your own supplies? Because you're an idiot and you shouldn't be in charge, because people shouldn't rely on you. If you aren't preparing for yourself for any kind of disaster, if you really believe that the government is going to come help you or bring you what you need, listen to this. Watch, look back, look it up for yourself. Look up FEMA and all their failures and see what's going on right now in Maui. They don't know what they're doing. They're a bunch of idiots. They can't get organized. They can't get there fast enough. They can't get the stuff to the people it needs to go to. They're useless. Those are people that were appointed to jobs that don't have the experience or the brain power to do those jobs. I don't know, it just pisses me off to see them staying in that resort when those people are sleeping in a high school gym. Those FEMA people should be in tents or in the gym. And those people that lost everything, including kids and family members, should be in those hotels so they get some sense of normalcy. If it doesn't piss you off, it should.
Thank you for listening to the Behind the Line podcast. If you like this broadcast, please like and share it. Please follow us on Facebook, Rumble, YouTube, Twitter, Truth Social, Telegram, Gab, Parler, and LinkedIn. You can find our podcast at BehindTheLinePodcast.com, NetNewsNetwork.net, and on Anchor, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and anywhere podcasts can be found. Thank you for your support.